Hola, theaters. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Waffle House. I don't know what was going on just then, bro. Like, yeah, it's another week, another Waffle House. Um, and yeah, man, I'm gas. I'm nice and relaxed. I had this one later because I was watching the Sevilla match. Sevilla versus Levante, and I was hoping that Sevilla would get the win, and kind of solidify their position safe from relegation. But it didn't happen that way. They lost 2-0. As you see, I got the Sevilla kit on. And yeah, man, one of my teams is trying their hardest not to win the title. Another one's trying their hardest not to get relegated. So it's been an eventful kind of season, I think, on both ends. But yeah, man, this Waffle House, I wanted to take a little bit of time to just kind of talk about books, man. I want to talk about books. When I mean books, I mean match day programs, magazines, and the books that I've gotten. So I want to go through some of the books. And yes, it's gonna be Arsenal themed mostly because that's the books that I have. But yeah, I wanted to talk about football books that people read. And then yeah, I got a little idea that came from the community, so I'll share that near the end. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I hope you guys' week has been good. It's Thursday. Near the end of the week, I know a lot of people just exhausted. I know I am. It's been long work week. But the weekend's almost here, and it's almost time for that team that I support to let me down again, probably. So yeah, we'll just clean that. But big up to Quadra in the house. Yep, thank you. And yeah, smash the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. I think we in subscribers only mode. I know a lot of people are probably watching other things, but this was the only time I could have before tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the match preview because I am going to the Newcastle match. So my mate he let me know that he had a ticket. So I said I'll go because my other friends from South Florida, the South Florida Gunners, they're coming to watch the Arsenal. So I wanted to kind of meet them in London. So that's why I'm going to the game. I'm going to meet them, have a pint, hopefully have a good game, and then come back home, for work the next day. Not work the next day, to come back and recover. I'm also going to the Champions League home match. And that one I'm going to have to recover and go to work the next day. And I said I wasn't going to go to matches, but this match was my friends from back home, and that match will be the mate who I go with birthday. So I couldn't leave him hanging on his birthday. He's excited because I think he thinks that there's a possibility that we could make the final and it's history. So he's offered me a chance to be there, and it's his birthday. So what kind of friend would I be if I don't go? Big up AJ. Yeah, please like the stream if you haven't already, and please subscribe. We are 17 away from the 500 mark, which is it'd be a great goal to get 500. And he's bigging up Quadra. So yeah, man, how's everybody doing, man? This is the Waffle House. So as we know, we ain't talking about Arsenal unless it's historic, but I think that now I'm in a kind of a whatever happens mood with Arsenal. We know what we have, we know what it's going to be, and there's no point in getting upset because the next month now we will know where we are, what we have, and who's sticking around. So I'm not gonna get stressed about it anymore. I'm just gonna let whatever will be. And as you know, I do these Waffle Houses because nobody wants to talk about Arsenal 24/7, man. Big up Jack's in the house. Yeah, we don't want to talk about Arsenal 24/7 because that's depressing. I want to talk about some other stuff. Some other stuff that I got plans, some other stuff that I got on the mind. And some other stuff that I want to kind of present pretty much. But yeah. Today's episode, like I said, I want to talk about books. I'll start with the match day program. I have a kit somewhere. I usually do kits on this channel, but I don't have any new ones, man, because I've been buying books. So these are the ones that I decided to go with. I don't have any more to show tonight that I can think of. We will do the kit shows later, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about books, match day programs, and that's what tonight's going to be about. So tonight's going to be match day programs, and yeah, man, I'll start off in the chat. Like, what's your favorite match day program? Like, what's the match day program that you have that has a special memory to you? If you don't have a match day program, what Arsenal book means? Yeah, this kit right here, the retro JVC kit. This is the remake, man. This is one of the remakes. I got it from the Adidas outlet in Sawgrass in South Florida. And I liked it so much. I got this one and the long sleeve, which I wear because it's cold here in England, man. So I'll be wearing the long sleeve when it gets cold. Like now in England, man, it's that point where it's kind of chilly. It's not entirely cold, but it's not entirely warm either. The sun's out, and like if you catch a little bit of sun, it'll feel okay, but it's still too cold for me. From South Florida, still too cold for me to walk out with no sleeves. I'm not that British yet, so maybe in a couple years, man, I'll get there. But yeah, that's where it is. Big up, Static. Big up, Static. How's it going? How's everybody doing, man? This is a community show, man. So how's everybody doing? Drop how you doing in the chat. I just want to chat, man. I'll get into the match programs in a bit. There's a lot of them. And then, as I said, I picked up some books. But yeah, I just want to talk to the community, man. That's what the Waffle House is. So how's everybody's week going? What's new? What's good with you guys? As I said, no Arsenal chat. That's for tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, how's it going? I know the NBA playoffs are going. I know that I think the draft's tonight, actually, the NFL draft tonight. That's another thing I can't watch, man, because them bums from Miami, they always drafting wrong people, bro. We just need old linemen, man. Bro, just be smart. Like the best teams draft linemen and then they get the flashy players later, bro. We need linemen. I mean, our quarterback, bro, we just ate 99 million. Was it 99? Yeah, I think we ate 99 million because we couldn't protect an already concussion-prone quarterback. Bro, come on, man. We need to do better. Do better. Right? So the draft is tonight, but I'll wake up and hope for the best on the draft. Because they depressing, bro. The Miami Dolphins are depressing. So yeah. Jack said, I like long sleeves. 90% of my kits are short sleeve. Long sleeves are hard to find on sale. Yeah, man, because everybody buys them. Like, you know what? The one kit that I liked from this season, the third kit, I wanted in long sleeve. Bro, look on that side, that joint, it's been sold out since the first month the thing came out. Like, I had the notification bell on if it ever came, but that ain't coming back. It's over. If you ain't get it the first way, it's over. The home kit, cool. You know what kit I want though? I want that away kit. I want that away kit for next year. Is it the blue one? The blue away kit? Yeah, I might get that joint. I might get that joint in the long sleeve, bro. Because it's navy. You know what I'm saying? I like the navy blue. I think I look good in it. So I would definitely get that joint. So I got the third kit, but only in short sleeve. Same. I got it from Charity Shop. I told you guys. Around Christmas, walked in the Charity Shop. And yeah, man, it was there. I walked in the Charity Shop, it was there. And I looked on the tag. I looked on everything. I had to verify it was real. It was real. It was real. I got that joint for 35 pounds. I was like, can't go wrong with that. So that was my Christmas gift. Somebody was watching over me, man. But yeah, man, I you guys know I love a good kid. So yeah, I'm good. That off-white maroon was under. Listen, Jack, man, I already told you guys, burgundy, maroon, that's my joint. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody left that joint, but my wife bought me the cup, man. She bought me the cup, the white and burgundy cup, and that joint still ain't been in the box. I don't want to let it go, because if I let it go, you know, if I use it and it gets damaged, I'll be crushed. So yeah. And the first lady's in the chat, and she says someone's missing sold it to the charity shop. You better behave. Yeah, bro, trying to sell my stuff on Vinted. That's crazy. But yeah, you know, I'm on my best behavior. Because I don't want my kids to end up. And listen, this woman that I'm married to, that bro, she got to love me, right? Because for some reason, the bookshop keeps sending me books. I don't know why. I don't know why books keep appearing through the mail. I'm like, man, geez, you gonna keep sending me books? But apparently they do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So as long as they send it to me, you know, I have to accept. I feel like it's rude for me to not accept the books that come through the mail. So I'm just saying. But yeah, man. I love kits. I love books. I'm so happy with kind of all the things that I purchased when it comes to my books. So and she said they send you is that how that works? Is that how that works? They send you what you order. Listen, so we got this book app, right? And I promise I'm waffling, right? We got this app. I think it's called World of Books. And bro, they sell you 3 books and you get 1 free, but the books are on sale already. So, bro, when I show you the book, all of the books that I have, I've bought 8 books now. I paid £20 total for all 8 books. And Jack says books are easier to hide than kit. Not when they, bro. This packaging is so like non-covert. Like when I buy kits, the packaging looks like normal packaging. Amazon. This thing, they have their own World of Books paper. The paper says World of Books all over it. So it comes to the house, and I can't hide that. Like, I can't hide that. On top of the fact that, yes, my wife was here when they delivered. I can't, like, rush back to the house and be like, oh, I've had those books for a while. Nah, they sitting on the doorstep, bro. Yeah, listen, they tell on me, and I don't like that for me. But, yeah, man, I got so many books. But let's start off with my collection, because the main peoples are here. So when people trickle in, they'll trickle in. But I've showed you, I think I've showed you guys this before. But this is my match day program collection. And not all of them are games that I've been to. I think there's a few. There's about 3 of them that I haven't actually been to the game. I'll take them off. I'll kind of go through them. Because for me, it's like and for most people, your programs tell a story, and these kind of tell my story as a match-going Arsenal fan. Jack says Stone is like the human ring camera, bro. She knows. Like, even when she's not home, she's like, "What you get? What you get in the mail?" I said, "How you know?" They must be sending her secret emails or something, man. But yeah, of the ones that I have of matches that I haven't been to, I think they're on the back end. Yeah. So These are from matches I haven't been to. My mate gave me this one because it had Thierry Henry on it. It's from AFC Wimbledon, in the Carabao Cup, but it had TT on it. So, he gave it to me, and chat something. Oh, this is random, bro. This is random, but this is from the Warrior, right? So, the Warrior is a warship that's docked here in Portsmouth. It's like and this is kind of the guide to the Warrior. I just stuck it in here so that it doesn't get damaged. But I think it's HMS Warrior. But it's a warship. So yeah, it's in Portsmouth, and I got this. I forgot it. Jack says, "Women know, bro. Pay it straight, always, best ways." Yeah, she knows, man. I tell her everything. Big up, Pito. What's up, man? ¿Cómo estás? And Jack's bigging up Pito. But yeah, this is from the Warrior in Portsmouth. If you guys ever get an opportunity to come to England, I would suggest it. It's like one of those old Ironside ships, like half sail, half iron. But yeah, Queen Victoria's like flagship, the Warrior. But this match, as I said, I didn't go to, but I got it because of Thierry Henry. This match I actually went to. And this one is the second one that I have. This is the one from, yeah, I think it's bigger though. And it's still kind of floating as well. I think the Cutty Sark is actually like encased now. But this one's from Real Madrid. Yep, that Real Madrid. And it has TT on it the last time he scored against Real Madrid. And when I go through it, this will make sense why I got this. But I went to the PSG home leg, and they still had this on sale, so I bought it. And it'll make sense when I go through it. But yeah, those are the two that I have that I haven't been to. Let me try to put them in a space where they don't get damaged. So I'll cry. But yeah, if we go through my kind of list, and I'll go through them. My first ever match, Freddie Ljungberg, Brighton. When was this? This was December 5th, 2019, right before Christmas. My mate was like, "Listen, let's go to a match." I know, this was before kind of Arteta. And they say you need to get Henry to sign that for you. Say, Jack, you say that like we can just roll up to his house. You never know, man. You never know. Might see that guy. I would love Thierry Henry to sign it though. But yeah, I remember this match on the 5th. It was right before Christmas, and my mate was like, "Hey, let's go to Brighton. Brighton on in good form. It's Arsenal. We can go there. You'll see your first match, and we'll get a win." We lost this match. If I'm not mistaken, 2-1. We lost this match, and I was devastated. But I was happy at the same time because it was my first ever match. And you look at the back, and I love these things, man, because you can see what kind of team we had. Like that match, we had Leno. This was the whole team, right? So you got Leno, Bellerin. It's actually Bellerin. Tierney, Socrates, Danny Ceballos, Alexander Lacazette, Mesut Ozil, Lucas Torreira, Aubameyang, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, Nicholas Pepe, Mustafi, Chambers, that bum, David Luiz, Reece Nelson, Emi Martinez, Mavropanos, Willock, Guendouzi, Kolasinac, Emil Smith-Rowe, Matt Macy, Granit Xhaka, Gabriel Martinelli, and 77, Bukayo Saka. So that's why I like this one, because this was early Bukayo. So I like that. And Jack said, "Stoney, I met him once. Nice guy. Asked him to take a photo. He said no, and then started laughing." I said, "Man, that's black on black crime." He started laughing. Nice guy. Cazorla. No, this is 2019. So I'm pretty sure he had gone by then. I'm pretty sure this is right before Mikel Arteta took over. But yeah, my first match was a loss. Let's see what else we got here. Are they in order? That one's a replica because I've done them. I'll probably keep them in order. My second match. He said he's humorous, so that I love him as a sports fan. Yeah, well, TT is amazing. He's amazing. I would love to meet him. But he, it's crazy. I'm one of those people that I would love to meet him, but he's not first on my list of Arsenal people to meet. I would love to meet Arsene Wenger. Probably to apologize to him, to say, you know what, I thought you should have gone, but now that I'm dealing with this cone, man, I apologize. But I would love to meet Arsene. I would love to meet Alexis Sanchez as well, man, because Alexis Sanchez is the reason that I got into into Arsenal to begin with. Super down to earth and chill. We took the photo and kept it moving. Henry is the greatest striker in Premier League. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And if he had been able to get vital goals in finals, he'd probably be one of the greatest strikers that ever lived, to be fair. But yeah, it's cool. The next match I went to chronologically was the second match, and this one was better. It was my first ever North London derby. September 26, 2021, right after COVID. So I went before COVID. COVID happened, and then we started going back after COVID. And yeah, man, like looking at this one, do they have the team sheet? So, we still had Leno, we still had Tierney, Ben White came in, Partey came in, Gabriel, Saka had switched to 7, Odegaard, Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Maitland-Niles, Holden, Cedric Suarez, that bum. Tomiyasu, Pepe, Tavares, Chambers, Mari, that bum too. Bambi Lakonga, El Neni, Balogun, Nketiah, Kolasinac, Ramsdale, Okonkwo. He's actually doing pretty well for Rexwood. Granit Xhaka and Martinelli. I'm not going to go through every lineup, but just to tell you some of the guys that were here after COVID. Yeah, it was it's 2021 and things had been open back up. But I think this I think it was one of the first North London derbies after COVID. And I think it was an amazing time. It was such an electric atmosphere, and we won. So, yeah, great one, great match program as well. You've got so many kind of Arsenal moments, and this is the thing with my camera; it adjusts. So you see Torreira, and you've got you've got Patrick Vieira on there, Cesc Fabregas on there. So you got some decent people on it. So it's a great program for me, and one of my favorites. Let me put these in order so that I can just put them back in the thing. Because I don't want them damaged. But this match here, this is my third ever match. And Pito said, leaves my boy Cedric alone. Nice guy. Shambolic. This next match was actually the first match I ever went with my wife. This is me and Stoney's first ever match. And it was Arsenal versus Manchester City on New Year's Day 2022. And this was the match where I thought we had won, and then we gave away a late penalty. I think it ended 3-2. I think we gave away a late penalty, and they ended up winning against Manchester City. Electric match. And I thought that, it would be kind of the start of something beautiful. And in a way it was, but this match was electric. And it just seems that every time someone goes to Arsenal for the first time, they witness a loss. But this was the first one that me and Stoney went to. As you can see, Kieran Tinney's on there. Also, one of my favorite kits as well. I have that. This kit I actually have hanging in the closet. I like that one. He said that's an awesome memory. Arsenal lost what you want. Yeah, I think she enjoyed it. And I think the significance of this match was that she finally saw, like, in person why I was so electric about Arsenal. Like, you know, she used to watch with me, but I think seeing an Arsenal match in person, especially one that was kind of that end to end and electric, I think it was good. And now she kind of understands better why we go. So yeah, this one was a good match as well. Tough result, but as he said, great experience. Carrington, I missed that guy. Wish we'd have kept him. The next one was my first ever Europa League match, and it was PSV Eindhoven. I don't remember the score. I'm pretty sure we battered them, to be fair, if I had to think. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to these. And this one, I also put in, because I kept the ticket, so I still have the paper ticket. You guys can see that. Let's see. But welcome to Emirates Stadium, and it's got like the bit on the back. But yeah, this was my ticket. And yeah, man, this one I'm sad about because somehow it got water damage, but I don't know how, because I keep them all in the same place. I don't know if it's just moisture, but I have to go try see if I can find it. I mean, I doubt it's going to be that. We didn't win anything, so I doubt it's going to be that hard to find. But also because it's got the late Diego Jota in it as well, along with Takahiro Tomiyasu. But yeah, another one of my favorite kits. And I think this one, I'm pretty sure this was a win. But yeah, so yeah, I'm sad that this got ruined, but I'll try to find it. This is one of my favorites. Not because Gabriel Martinelli is on there, but because this was my first ever Champions League match. I'm pretty sure. I did have them in order. Yeah, this is my first, my first ever Champions League match, and I thought it was so fitting because it was actually Arsenal versus, as you know, my first love, Sevilla. So there you go, Gabriel Martinelli and Arsenal versus Sevilla. First ever Champions League. We did win that match as well. I want to say it was 2-0. I want to say that one was 2-0. But yeah, I mean, I got a Sevilla kit on. It was a great experience. And then they included the late Jose Antonio Reyes, who I actually watched when he was with Sevilla. When I first moved to Spain, he was still playing with Sevilla. And Jack says live games make you fans. Starboy on the cover, looking healthy and happy. Live games are better for atmosphere, but no lines on the field, and I don't know where to look sometimes. You just got to keep following. You can do this. If you do this, you'll be all right. And she said, I want that one too. Which one do you want? The black one? The black kit is what you're talking about? That's hard to find. That black kit, that thing sold out. I'm lucky I found mine. You don't even find those on the resale. That kit deserved a title of some sort, a trophy. Like, even if it was just the Carabao Cup, it deserved a trophy. But this is actually, I don't know if you guys can see it. This is actually that green jersey. And this is probably my wife's favorite kit to wear. She loves wearing this kit. I bought this for her. She loves it. But yeah. Oh, she said I went to that one too. The Sevilla one. My bad. I thought you said I want that too. You said I went to that one too. You did go to Sevilla. Yeah, we went together. I think you've been to 3. I can't remember which 3. So We know that it's the Man City. I can remember that one. And the Sevilla one. I'm pretty sure you went to another one. But yeah, this one too is my wife's favorite kit. And it's the one that she loves. Yeah, it is. I think it was raining, is why it's so dark. I think it might have been raining. But yeah, it's the green and navy blue kit, Jack. The green and navy blue one. Yeah, we went to that one together and we won, so that's great. She's been to 3. She's been to 3, and it's funny you said that because that one's coming up. But the next one I went to was actually another Champions League, and it was Porto. And sometimes I feel like, you know, Arsenal kind of recycle their stuff, but yeah, this one's a nice one. And this one's also got Season to Remember, Champions League 2005, 2006, as you guys know. My favorite kit. But yeah, Porto. I don't remember the Porto game. I think I was just happy to have gone. But yeah, it must have been. It must have been. I don't remember it. It'll probably jog my memory, but this thing doesn't. Every now and then, and I think, you know what? I remember this match. Now I remember it. I think this was penalties, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, this is penalty. And the reason I don't remember it, the reason I don't remember this match is because we rushed to London, and before the penalty shootout, we had to rush away. I went on a weekday. I was still in school? I might have 2024. I just started my job, and this match went to penalties. And I remember we had to catch the last train out of Waterloo to Portsmouth. And so we had to leave before the penalty started. And we got back and we realized that we had progressed on penalties. But I remember this match now. That's what this was. But that's why I don't remember it, because we had to rush out of there. I watched the entire match. And then we rushed out of there. Jack said that's a good kit. Yeah, I like that kit. And drinks must have been good. Did I drink? I probably had one beer, man. I probably had one beer, but yeah, event for, yeah. I remember now. It jogged my memory. That's why I like looking at these things. Jogged my memory. And as my wife said, the next game was Everton. Kevin Campbell. I'm pretty sure this is 2024. This is when Kevin passed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is when Kevin passed, because I remember I bought 2 of these, one for my mate and one for me. But yeah, and I have that kit that hangs out. I love that kit. But late Kevin Campbell, may he rest in peace. This was the 3rd game my wife and I went to, and this game was the 0-0 at home. And it was the first time my wife came out of the stadium and said, "Did we just waste our time?" And I said, absolutely. Did we lose? No, it was 0-0. I'm pretty sure this was 0-0. I'm pretty sure this was a 0-0. This was a 0-0. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 0-0. Now I gotta look it up, because you got me second guessing myself. Because I'm pretty sure that was a 0-0. Yeah, it was a 0-0. I looked it up. It was a 0-0. It was boring. It might as well have been a loss, because it stopped us from winning the title that season. So it might as well. You might want to put a little piece of paper with a note about the games and memories. I would try, but I'd be forgetting, man. Listen, when I'm in London, I'll be having a good time and I forget. But that's a good idea. That's a great idea. I just need my job. My wife said a job would waste of time. It definitely was, bro. It definitely. definitely was a waste of time. But yeah, I got this one. Kevin Campbell, may he rest in peace. It was a good one. The next one was West Ham United. I'm pretty sure we lost this joint as well, to be fair. They put Ozil in there. There was a period where we just had loss, bro. We just had losses. But this one's from February 2025. We know how that turned out. It was last season. Meh. You know what I'm saying? But Mikel Merino. And you know what's funny about this one is I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is the Leicester flag. And unfortunately, Leicester went from the Premier League and they've just been relegated from the Championship. So they'll be in League One next season. And that's sad, bro, because Leicester won the Premier League and now they're in League One. But we've seen it with Portsmouth. Portsmouth won the FA Cup in 2008. And then there we go. Big up, Mr. Holiday. Thank you for stopping by. This is not an Arsenal show, an Arsenal current show, but thank you for giving your opinion. But we don't talk about the current version of Arsenal on this show. I will talk about Arsenal in their preview tomorrow, but this is where we just kind of waffle about everything that's not Arsenal unless it's historic. But thank you for stopping by. This match here, right? So you see this one, right? This is how shameless the club can be, right? So you're like, oh, you just already showed us this one. This is Real Madrid. No, this is PSG, right? This is what they did for Real Madrid and PSG, right? So Real Madrid has when Henry beat Real Madrid. PSG has Declan Rice's free kicks. So they've literally done it like in a pair. That's why I got them. Because I was like, yeah. And big up, Mr. Holiday. I get it. Arsenal will drive you crazy. Big up, though. Yeah, you know, it's this Waffle House is a way to talk about your experiences, to talk about kind of everything outside of Arsenal. We got enough stress. And I just like to talk to my community. This is more a community show. So if you got any questions, the Waffle House is an open forum. If you got any questions for the chat, if you got any questions for me, feel free to ask, man. I'm an open book. As long as it's not politics, I'm not going to talk about politics. People know how I feel. I'm not a fan of the person who runs my country. But that's neither here nor there. Other than that, we talk about everything else. So yeah, get your questions in, man. If you got any questions, if you hear something you want to know, then yeah. Silk One said, I'm done with this YouTube Arsenal fan BS. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Miss Holiday said, how do you get those programs? I went to the matches. So this is what I was talking about. I went to these matches. I didn't go to Real Madrid. I just got the program. But the previous ones that I was talking about, I did go to the PSG game. And that's why I kind of talk about what I see as far as our style of play, because I've actually been to matches. And yeah, this one was a match that I thought we could have won. And we didn't. And it ultimately cost us because we couldn't go to Paris and get anything. So, but this match is what it is. But it was a great experience. I always love Champions League opportunities. And this match, so these two are from this season. And this one was that Manchester United match I keep talking about. January 25th, 2026. It was like a late birthday gift to myself. And yeah, we know how that turned out. 3-2. I was fuming. There was just, my brain was gone. But yeah, man, I thought we would turn up for it. I think they cursed us by putting Gabriel Jesus on there, to be fair. But Yeah, we lost. We know what happened. And the last match I went to was Everton. And as you know, this was that 0-0 bore until the young Max Dowman came on, scored 2 goals, or helped us score 2 goals. And yeah, the rest is history. So yeah, this was the last match I went to, Everton. And the thing that I like thinking about is the difference. The difference between my first Arsenal match and my latest Arsenal match. The teams are so different. The managers are different. The programs even look different. Like, this is more square. Their programs are kind of like folded piece of paper. Like, and that just shows you how much the club has changed in that time. You've got one way of doing things. And now you kind of have something different. But yeah, these are all the matches I've been to. These are all my match programs from actual matches that I've attended. And I've been fortunate, man. As someone who's from the US, who moved to the UK for work, I've been fortunate enough to be at matches. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to go to matches. As I said, I'm meeting some friends from South Florida. One of my mates from South Florida went to the match. He went to the Man City game in Manchester, but he went to the Lisbon game in London. And that was his first time ever going to the Emirates. And, he was like, man, I get it. Like, and I realized how fortunate I am because those guys don't always get to come to matches. And as you can see, I've been to quite a few. I think I've been to 10, 11 matches, and I'm already scheduled to go back to 2 more. So I've been fortunate enough to have someone who can help me get into matches and go. So I always like to keep a little bit of history. I do need another one of those program holders, so I will get one the next time I go because I am running out of space. And it's something that I've never actually expected. Let me get back into your comments. And big up Sook Modes again. How is my Spanish? Basura, bro. It's trash. We talked about this on the last one. Pito and the guys gave me some good pointers on how to improve my speaking. My understanding is a lot better than I speak it. But because I live in a country that doesn't really speak Spanish, and I really don't have anyone to speak with. My conversational Spanish is not as good as I would like it to be. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I want to be better, and I'll try to be better. Because yeah, I got a lot of things. I want to move back to Spain. To be fair, watch Sevilla all the time because Sevilla seems to be the only club that I will actually get a season ticket for. I've been numbered 28,000 on the Arsenal season ticket for like 3 seasons now. And I don't think I'm going to get any closer with how we're doing. So, yeah, I'd like to actually watch. Yeah. So that's how my Spanish is. And big up for stopping by. I didn't say big up. Where's my manners? Chat said that was a great game. They should reissue that Everton program with Diamond on the cover. Yeah, man, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. You know what? I thought about getting a kit with his name on it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm already on thin ice, as you can see. My wife trying to sell the kits that I do have. So yeah, if I add any more, yeah. She'll probably sell me. So but yeah, I do want to get it because you never know, man. Like with the 77 with Saka, man, you never know if that guy becomes a star boy, if he becomes the next big thing. So it'd be a nice story to have a player that has come through. Fraley says Fuma Damari, and no, I do not anymore. I'm not about that life no more. But yes. Yeah, not anymore, bro. I'm good. I'm good for now. But yeah, once upon a time, allegedly. And Diamond is literally the highlight of the season. Yeah, man, he has been. He has been. The spark. And the crazy thing is, he scored those goals, and we thought they would mean more. Now we're back in the same, back in the same spot. So yeah. And Freddie said, honestly, smart. Yeah, man. My vices in life are ice cream and buying kits. That's pretty much it. And it's too cold in England to eat ice cream on the regular. So yeah, it's pretty much buying kits and books. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, like I said, this is my collection. Freddie Ljungberg, North London Derby. I've had some good ones. I mean, I've been able to go to Europa League, the Champions League, some dull matches, and some great matches. Like, what I'm saying? I've been lucky enough to go to so many. And if you ever get the opportunity to go to Arsenal, yeah, I would take it. My thing with, and I like to be honest, right? I like to be honest about my experience, and I like to be honest about the atmosphere, right? I like the Emirates atmosphere, but it's not one of the best I've been to, and that's just me. That's taking my Arsenal bias away, and actually talking about some of the places I've been to. If I had to rank the Arsenal atmosphere on the matches I've attended, it probably would come second to last. Just being honest. So I'm trying to put these away. My bad. It probably comes second to last if I had to talk about it. Now, when it's high, it's high. But if you're talking about a regular match and singing and being up for it, yeah, it has to be, for me, second to last. Like, I live near Portsmouth, and to me, Portsmouth is one of the best English atmospheres I've been to, and I've been to St. Mary's Stadium. I've been to a couple of non-league matches here in the UK. But the best atmosphere that I've personally been a part of is Sevilla. And Atletico Madrid will probably be second. I've seen Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, and then I would put Portsmouth. So I've only been to 5 teams, 5 different teams. So I've been to Sevilla 3 times. No, Sevilla 3 times. I've been to Atletico Madrid's old stadium once. I've been to Portsmouth once. I've been to Southampton twice, and I've been to the Emirates, as you can see, 11 times. I would rank it Sevilla, Atletico, Portsmouth, Arsenal, then Saints. Saints atmosphere is kind of dead to me. On a European night when everything's going, it's great. But I've been to Sevilla matches where they're literally playing, back when they were good, they were playing bottom of the table team, and you thought they was playing Real Madrid. And then when they played Real Madrid, it was huge. So yeah. Let me get back to the comments. It would be easier to tolerate Arsenal if you did. It's okay. As a health service professional, I recommend ice cream and kits. See, healthcare professional, you should be looking at that. Ice cream and kits. That's what the doctor says. Doctor's orders. Peter says, I love collecting match day programs. My favorite program is from 1964 when Sporting won the Cup Winners' Cup final against MTK Budapest. Budapest is also a great place. I've been there as well. I like Budapest. But yeah, so you collect just like random old ones. There is a shop, it's around the corner actually from the Emirates, and they have old Arsenal program. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably should go there next time I go. Because I want to see if I can actually find that match day program. I need to take a picture of it just so I can get it. Because if it's like £7, I'll probably get it because I want it. But yeah, Fraley said it's crap. I've been to more lovely league, and yeah, man, like more lively. Yeah, man, the Emirates can be up for it, but on the regular, you pretty much spectating, bro, because you got a lot of spectators. But it's an A league, yeah. 7 likes, like to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Enrique, you went to Portsmouth. Nice. I live near Portsmouth, so I've been to Fratton Park. A couple of my mates are Fratton Park Portsmouth season ticket holders, and they tell me all the time that Arsenal suck. A couple of my other mates are Saints season tickets holders, so they go. As my main friend is a Arsenal season ticket holder, obviously, so that's how I go to some of the matches. But yeah, I like Europe. Like for me, I love the UK. I love living here. But when it comes to football, I love European football, man. Spanish football is great. Portuguese, Benfica is great. France it has atmospheres too. I just feel like when you get to the UK, it can just kind of be like sometimes it like the as much as Southampton's a great place, man. Sometimes we go to Saints games like you're having a funeral. Like they play the Saints go marching in, and that's pretty much it. Whereas Portsmouth, they're yelling at you, and it's not always singing; it's mostly abuse, but at least they're like. So yeah. Static says, Rican, I must go. Legend, take care. Have a good show. Thank you so much, Static, for stopping by. I appreciate it as always. Peter says, blessed up. Status, go to an away game. Bro, it's so hard to go to away matches as a traveling Arsenal fan because you usually have to get them like on resale. You can't get them through the club because for club tickets, you got to have like X amount of away points for you to get away ticket. It's weird, bro. But yeah, I do want to one of these days, and this is the thing. This is why I would love to move to Spain and do Sevilla because I think Sevilla, I'm already kind of a member there. And I think it'd be easier to get a season ticket and go travel away. Like imagine traveling to the Bernabeu and the Camp Nou and San Mamés, you know what I'm saying? The Metropolitano, like just traveling to some of those places as an away fan, I think would just be vibes, bro. And then, if they make it to Europe again, you might go to Inter, AC Milan, I think it'd be great. Making some fresh pasta, my G. That's good. That's good. I made pasta 2 nights ago. Did I? Yeah, I made pasta 2 nights. I just ate it, bro. I'm sad, bro, because every time I cook, I just feel like it disappears, man. It's a story of life. But yeah, that's the match day programs that I have. Give me 2 seconds, because I've been on here an hour, and you guys know how I get. My voice gets super dry, so give me 2 seconds. Big up, Quadra. Thank you for stopping by. And so my next segue, now that we're an hour in, and I won't stay too long, man, because I want to be done by kind of 11-ish, 11:30-ish, if I can, because I do have work tomorrow. I wanted to segue because we were talking about Spain, and the first book that I've kind of bought that the Frying Pan of Spain, and this talks about Sevilla versus Real Betis. When I lived in Spain, I had an opportunity to go to both matches because I wanted to kind of see, but I ended up going to a Sevilla match because they were giving away tickets at the time, and yeah, I went to Sevilla. and I was supposed to go to Batiste, but then I got busy. I got busy with some work, and I wasn't able to go to Batiste. So I've only ever been to the Estadio, Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. But the cool thing about it, bro, is Diego Maradona playing for Sevilla. He's one of the greatest players of all time. Although I heard his tenure with Sevilla was kind of like his tenure most places. And then seeing like some of the pictures, like this one here, the 2016 Europa League. I was living in Spain when that happened. Vibes, bro. Parties. It was exciting. Even though they were, about an hour and a half away. They're the biggest local team. So at the time, man, there was a lot of Sevilla fans that are just excited. And yeah. And he said, Jack said Maradona's tenure in Napoli was the best. Yeah, legend, bro. I'm pretty sure that Napoli named the stadium after him as well. But I have to read about Maradona. But yeah, this is the first book, The Frying Pan of Spain, the kind of history of Sevilla. And I know from my limited knowledge, because I know that the kind of battle between Sevilla and Betis goes beyond just football. It's kind of cultural. Sevilla were considered the rich people's team at Sevilla, like the upper class team, where Betis is kind of the lower and middle class team. And now things, the city has kind of worked its way together, obviously. And it's still a rivalry. It's just sad to see now that Betis is actually higher in the table we are. I mean, as I said, I was watching Sevilla tonight versus Levante. Levante are pretty much relegated, and we're fighting for our lives, and we lost to them 2-0. So it's tough, bro. It's tough to watch, but I love Sevilla. It was a great place to visit. It was a great region to live in, and Spain still will always have a special place in my heart. One, because I have Spanish ancestry, but also because it's just a great place to live, man. It's just a great place to live. Great people, great food, great weather, great beaches, great alcohol, if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah. Good doctor said I watched the Hand of Gold live. The second goal was fire, but that first taints his memory for me. The Hand of God, yeah, bro, because you just right, and this is the thing that kind of gets me sometimes with football. You look at Barcelona, and as great as Barcelona were, bro, they was cheating. That you like Real Madrid, the greater they were, bro, they cheating. You can see them cheating. Right? The referees just calling stuff. You're like, bro, how did you even call that? That's not even consistent with the laws of the game, bro. Right? And I think that taints some of those legacies. Because you're like, yeah, that was great. It's a great performance. But you tainted it with stupidity and things that weren't fair, things that weren't right. So, yeah, there's something to think about. But, man, the Hand of Gold, wow. That's amazing. I mean, I think about some of the great goals that I've watched. They're nothing compared to that, man. I mean, the one that I think of off the top of my head was the Olivier Giroud scorpion kick goal. And then that fool scored again, and he was doing a scorpion kick celebration. We was trying to win the game. Like, I remember stuff like that. Alexis Sanchez picking the ball up and just winging it. Declan Rice's free kicks. But, yeah, it'd be nice to see, like, a goal to win something. You know what I'm saying? I remember, like I always tell you guys, being at Disney World when England lost the Euros, and I was an England kid, and I was looking salty and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jack said there's a good documentary called Diego Maradona that was released in 2019. A good watch. Yeah, I'll watch it. I want to get books, man. Like I really want to get back into reading. And like I said, I'm gonna go through some of my books as well, and talk about what I know about some of the players and what I hope to get from the books. But yeah, I got quite a few there. Jack said if you end up in Seville, we're gonna lose you to Sevilla FC. As I always tell you, man, Arsenal is my true love. Sevilla is my first love. I'll always have love for both clubs. And I think that's why that match was so special to me because, I went with my wife and we had lived in Spain and now we lived in the UK. And it was just the two teams that we looked at and supported and loved. And watching them play each other, even in their current iterations, it meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? It meant a lot to me to watch those teams. I love both those teams, man. I love both those teams. So, yeah. And he said Maradona owned the whole that whole World Cup. He was the top scorer, I believe. Yeah, but you always tainted with the flappy hands, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean Maradona was generational player, like Messi, like Ronaldo, OG Ronaldo, like Gaucho, Ronaldinho. You know what I'm saying? Like those players, we'll never see the likes of again, bro. We'll never see the likes of those players again. So, if you got to watch them in person, especially on Maradona, especially Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Zidane, those greats. If you were lucky enough to have seen Johan Cruyff, like if you've seen Gigi Buffon, like those players, man, those are just generational players. You just won't see those type of players again. And if you do see them, they are once in a lifetime, bro. Yeah, Rue Gullit. Even not even being a hater, Eric Cantona, right? Paul Scholes, like, Frank Rijkaard. There's so many great players. And that's the thing I tell people, man. I think football, Edgar Davids, football hit its peak for me in 2010. Like I feel like the 2010 World Cup was when football was at its peak. Once 2010 World Cup was over, like I don't feel like the standard of football got better. You know what I'm saying? Like the 80s and 90s, and I wasn't a big football fan, but I knew, like bro, I grew up, my uncle, my late uncle, I love that guy, bro. I wish he was still around. He used to talk about Brazil and the OG Brazil, like, hey man, because I used to go to my grandparents' house for the summer. So he like, oh yeah, the World Cup is on, or the Copa America. You know what I'm saying? Like those things. And he used to talk about Brazil. And I remember one of the World Cups and Diego Forlan was just rinsing people. You know what I'm saying? Mexico with Ochoa and go, like, you know what I'm saying? You just won't see. You just won't see. Cantona was gangster. Yeah, he two-footed a fan, bro, because he was being racist or whatever it was. It's crazy. Zico, yeah, 1970. No, I grew up in the 1990s, so 1990s Brazil. Falcao, bro, Falcao. I got a friend who's Colombian, bro. That man loved Radamel Falcao, bro. He loved Falcao. Who else? James Rodriguez. He used to talk about said Brazil 1970 or another. Was that Pele's Brazil 1970? That's a little bit out of my age range. 1970. He said, but they were great on YouTube. They were like the Harlem Globetrotters. But this is the thing, right? Brazil. Oh, he said Falcao, the Brazilian, though. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Radamel. That's my fault. But yeah. But this is the thing, right? This is the thing about Brazil, right? And I just want to speak about Brazil. Bro, when I look at this current Brazil team and I see man like Richarlison, I see man like Martinelli, I see man like Gabriel Jesus. Bruh, I look at them dudes, bro, none of them dudes look like they've ever seen a favela. Like they've never seen, bro, they've never seen the favelas, bro. They've never seen the streets. Like they look like they grew up in mansions, and they say I'm Brazilian. That's bro. You cannot tell me Richarlison is Brazilian, bro. You cannot tell me Gabriel. I call him Gabe. That you can't tell me that, bro. We went from watching Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho to watching Richarlison, bro. Like Richarlison, like Gabriel Martinelli. We talking about whether they should take Gabriel Jesus to the World Cup. Bro, the dudes wouldn't even hit the bench of that team, bro. They couldn't even get on the same sidewalk as some dudes. Like, bro, if Gabriel Martinelli saw Ronaldinho coming, he would have to get off the sidewalk. You can't share the pavement with that guy. And I'm looking at Brazil now, I'm like, bro, these guys are Neymar, right? Neymar, everyone talks about how great and how generation he was. Bro, Neymar, as great as you got nothing on Dino, bro. And I like Neymar. I got his kid. You guys seen it. But come on, bro. You're not even in the same stratosphere. Like, bro, Brazil, bro. Oh, to see the and this is the thing, bro. Like, this is the thing. As much as I can be a country hater. I feel like a World Cup where Italy's not in it, where Brazil's not top, where Argentina aren't that great. Like, I feel like, how can you be excited for that, bro? Like, how can you be excited for that? Like, I'm more excited that maybe one of the underdogs might take it, bro. But I'm looking at those teams. France, I think they're head and shoulders above everybody else. Spain, I think that might be the second closest. The rest of the teams, bro, and I love England. England always disappoint, bro. But when I watch some of the greatest teams, like, bro, Brazil, Argentina, Brazil, bro, it's so hard to watch. Cortrado, Pito says it's sad, bro. I grew up off Nice Brazil too. Different gravy, bro. Those Brazilians, bro, that Brazil team, bro, bopping, nutmegging people, rainbow flicking. You know what I'm saying? Just having dudes tripping over their own ankle. Bro, I watched Martinelli trip over himself. And that's what Brazil's taking to the it's so sad to watch, bro. It's so sad to watch. The fall of that's probably gonna be a documentary, The Fall of Brazil. Nah, man, it's sad. They talking about bringing a crippled Neymar to the World Cup. Bro, Neymar's only there for name recognition and to sell kits, bro. Neymar ain't been the same. Neymar has not been the same since he went to PSG. It was probably the worst thing that he could have done. And I get trying to get out of Messi's shadow, but boy, pick somewhere else. Oh, gosh. Yeah, man. Brazil, and it hurts me, bro. It hurts me. It hurts me, to not see Mexico. I like Mexico as the underdog, man. Because even though they weren't winning stuff, they were giving people a run for their money. And like now, I don't know, man. For me, and I keep talking about the World Cup, bro. The World Cup for me, it's France's and Spain's and whoever else, man. I can't see anybody being that great, especially not from the Americas, man. Argentina, Messi's old. Brazil is Brazil. Canada, America, and Mexico, they not winning. So, I'm more excited to see the smaller teams. That's what I say. In the 90s, Jesus and Martinelli, we had to buy a ticket. Bro, they couldn't even do that. Bro, Martinelli and Jesus had to watch on TV outside. They couldn't even get a ticket. Or they getting bought for one, bro. Like, these guys are going to the World Cup, bro. Jeez. Fairly said, football not. Yeah, it's robotic, man. Everybody wants to do, and it's not. You know what? I say this. It's not just football. I think it's sports in general. I think sports in general have reached a point where people care more about the system. People care more about their management and their tactics. And like growing up in sport, Like when I was growing up, I'm only 33, so I was growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s. Bro, it was about individual brilliance, and not just football, American football. Some of the greatest players you've ever seen, Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? Randy Moss, even your Tom Brady's, man, he had some decent plays. You know what I'm saying? Like the greatest show on turf, St. Louis Rams. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady, you can call him what you want, but the guy had plays. He wasn't. He didn't have the greatest arm, but you can remember some of the plays he made. Like, bro, now everything's this offense, that off basketball. I grew up watching, Allen Iverson. I grew up watching, as born as they said Tim Duncan was, he had guys around him that were great. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, the first Cleveland stint, Dwayne Wade, Kobe and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Like you used to play the game. It used to be exciting to watch. Now, bro, not a player. I can't, bro. Even if I woke up late or stayed up early enough to watch the playoff, it wouldn't be exciting to me. Like we still talking about 40-year-old LeBron being the face of the league, bro. The guy's 40. No, bro. Sports is gone, bro. It's all about systems and people making themselves. I want individual brilliance. And when it comes to football, everybody wants the tick-a-taka, and that's bro. I want to see some. I want to see some messy nutmegs, man. Like I want to see people take on 3 people, rinse them, and that's why everybody likes Lamine Yamal. I think that's how you say it. I always get the name mixed up. That's my fault, guys. But yeah, Lamine Yamal. That's what I think it is. But yeah, I like to see a flair, man. And when we see that, and I think that nowadays when you see flair players, you automatically call them great. Cole Palmer doesn't step over. Oh, he's a great player. No, he's average, but he'll take somebody on. Like, and we have it in Arsenal. Oh, this guy looks good because Nani Madueke will take someone on. That used to be the standard. Wrenching somebody 1v1 used to be what people did. Now we're clapping it when they do it 2 or 3 times. It's weird. Football it's gone, bro. England making to the round of 16 and quarterfinal. Engine tears are always, yeah, man. That's why I got Spain as backup this year. Neymar is more known for his hairstyle than anything else at this point. And flopping, rolling, and doing somersaults when he gets touched, man. It's kind of weird. Flavour says maybe Netherlands with an outside shot, maybe Portugal alongside they bench Ronaldo. I would love to see Portugal actually make it to the final and win because I think that'll be great for football. And the reason I say that is because Messi got to give me World Cup. Like, come on. Messi got to give me World Cup. Do I think Argentina was the best team in that World Cup? Not really. But they made it. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see Ronaldo do the same. Portugal winning the World Cup, Messi winning the World Cup. Those guys will be on par as the 2 greatest players we've probably ever seen in this generation. So, yeah. Fred said, yeah, bro. After today, I think I'm done with Arsenal and the channels around it. Yeah, man. And this is why, listen, this is why I say I do the Waffle House because it's frustrating to talk about Arsenal all the time. The Waffle House is a place for us to vent, talk about other stuff, experiences, life, and then we can just be devastated about the team that we support. And if you're not an Arsenal fan, you can come over here and get the Waffle. This is a free-for-all, man. I like talking about football. I like talking about sport, and I like talking about life. That's what this is for. Jack says sports used to be about the players, now it's about the business of sport, branding and marketing. Yeah, and making the owners money. You know what I'm saying? If the football product isn't beautiful, it doesn't matter as long as butts are in seats. And that's what it is. That's why we're having a crisis at our team. That's why Man United had the crisis at their team. Because the owners don't see them as fans. They see them as paying customers. And as long as the paying customers continue to pay, then yeah. Good Doctor says, I'm a Lions fan. Watching Barry was a treat. Barry Sanders. Gone too soon. He ain't that, but you know what I'm saying? He left the league pretty soon. And I think that's probably because he was getting dish ragged because the Lions have a history of just not. I really wanted the Lions to make a deep run in the playoffs, even make the Super Bowl, man. Because I like your head coach. He used to be part of the Dolphins. I don't know why we did not keep him, why we didn't allow him to grow because he was already there. we just, yeah, bro, we just let Dan Campbell go somewhere else and look at him in Detroit. So yeah, it'd have been great to see what he was with the Dolphins. So yeah. Good Art said Lions Christmas games were fun. I wish they'd bring some of those back, man. And not just a Lions Christmas game. I wish, like, and I think they're bringing it back. Like, you remember the NBA? They had the Christmas jerseys. I like those, bro. Bring those back. You know what I'm saying? It was nice seeing the Christmas jersey. They put them on sale and you wear them. They were cool. Yeah, bro. We need to bring back the fun in sports. I think that's the main thing. Like, sports used to be fun, and they ain't fun no more because everything's about the consumer. I want to be entertained when I watch football. I want to be entertained when I watch basketball. I want to be entertained when I watch American football. Like, it's great. It's great. Oh yeah, they're winning. They're robotic. But no, I want to see us play good football, man. I want to see us play good sport again. But you know, everything's a swing and roundabout. So yeah, bro. We'll see. Jack says if you're not an Arsenal fan, you're welcome here because your team is probably doing worse than ours. Yeah, and if they're not doing worse than ours, they're probably playing better football, so it's fine. But yeah. And Jack said the Latino jerseys were good too. Oh yeah, I like the Los Heat jerseys we do. Is it L Heat? No, it's the L Heat, and it's like Los Mavericks or Los Spurs or something that they do. But yeah. Big up, wow, thank you for stopping by. That's another non-Arsenal fan. Welcome to our non-Arsenal chat. But yeah, the second bit of the show, I talked about books. I bought a ton of books. And I think my wife's asleep because she ain't been in the chat for a little bit. So we'll talk about the books now. All right. So I've talked about this book quite a lot. And this is the one that I got. Fever Pitch. I told you guys about this one. This was the version that was given to me by the guy who worked at it. And this was, I don't know if you guys can see it. The hybrid bit. And then it's got, and what I asked him to do is sign it for me when he gave it to me. So there it is. But yeah, this was gifted to me by the guys who worked at Arsenal at the time. So yeah, it means a lot to me. I keep it fairly in good shape. The books that I'm going to show tonight, by the way, are Arsenal books, or football books, but mostly Arsenal because that's what I have. I do have quite a few collection of books. But for the purpose of tonight, it's mostly sports and Arsenal. And Jack said, yeah, El Heat, you read 48 Powers of Law. I have not. I think that, what was the last kind of self-help book I read? Atomic Habits was the last. I started reading Atomic Habits. So yeah, I started reading that one. But bro, I cheat on books. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a book whore, if you will. So I'll start on one book, and if I don't finish it, put it down, put it to the side. I'll read another book and then come back to it. I'll be like, I miss you. So yeah, that's how I do. But with the Arsenal books, I kind of read them through. But yes, Fever Pitch is the first one that I got. The second one that I do have is this one. Hybrid, the story of Arsenal and N5. Waha said, just in for books. I do prefer my fiction though. I have the Harry Potter collection. I also have the Golden Compass series. I forgot what it's actually called. But no. I have that. So yeah, I do read some not some fiction, but you know, I like my sports books because I'm interested in it. But this one is The History of Arsenal in 5 by John Sperling. And this was one that I read, which was very interesting. I read this and then I actually went to Highbury a little bit after. Well, I went to the outside of Highbury because, as you know, it's flats now. I've been eyeing. Listen, when it comes to Highbury, there's one flat in Highbury, but I've been eyeing so long. It's expensive. It's like £1 million. I say if I ever won the lotto, bro, I'm gonna get me. Listen, if I do this show and y'all see me and my background is Highbury, just know that I made it. I made it. I made it. I made it. So yeah, that's what it is. Did I say for your pictures the best? Are you gonna read chapter 1 of the Arsenal book? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I got something for you. He said, "Do you guys have thrift books in the UK?" No. Like I said, I got mine from World of Books. That's where I got mine. I Have Atomic Habits as an audio book. Yeah, it's very good. It's helped me change some of the bad habits that I had, and actually kind of get forward with bettering myself. And big up Views said, "Salute, broski. Shared the live, smash the like. I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, I know most of you do. Go over and give Views a look, a like, a smash, not smash, a subscribe. And yeah, man, check him out. He does the midday show here in the UK at noon. He's usually on. And as I said, he has other bits like Views Tube and Views from the Bits, where he covers other things, such as kind of mutants, or he covers, rap battles and gang wars and stuff like that. So it's all very interesting to me. So if you like that stuff, go check it out. And give him a subscribe anyway. And then says, Jack sounds like a book about farting. Talk about him. And big up Views on Sport Legend as always. So yeah, I have those two. And then I have this one, which a lot of you guys, and I'm pretty sure the good doctor will say, 89, Arsenal's greatest moment. Anfield. Big up, Prom. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, I've got this one as well. I've read this one. It's very good. Make sure you guys subscribe. He said, "Can I get an amen?" Amen, brother. Amen. But yeah, this one's a good one as well. And this Amy Lawrence, I think she writes quite a bit for Arsenal. But Anfield is one that 89 is one that I like. I haven't seen the documentary. I just read the book. But yeah, and the thing is, when you hear everybody kind of describing what we're going through, people will compare it to this. But yeah, it is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then if you're gonna tell the story about the Arsenal, then you can't tell the story without this one. And it's another Amy Lawrence book, so I think she's written quite a bit. But this is another one, the Invincible season. And on the back you've got played 38, won 26, drew 12, lost 0. But yeah, I can't wait to read this one. These are my new ones, so I will read Invincible. Cause yeah, I like to know. Like, as a person who didn't experience it firsthand, I would like to read it and kind of read what was going on behind the scene. Like I said, I knew about some of the players from internationals, but to actually read about their time at Arsenal, I think it'll be great. And then they've got some decent pictures in there as well. So look at that, man. So yeah, it'd be great to kind of read about the experience. Because as you know, this is probably our greatest feat, besides the 89. So I've got 2 of our greatest ever feats, which is good. And Jack said she had a book called The Wenger Revolution. That was good as well. Don't worry. I got more books coming. I had some in the cart and my finger slipped and it said ping and it bought. So yes, my wife will be getting another package in the next couple of days. That would be more books. And so those are like my general arsenal books. As I said, so yeah. Those are the general kind of books. And then so far I've gotten 5-player books because I want to read about 5 players. And the one that I've started with, the one that I'm currently reading now, is this man. You guys know who this is. And yes, sub to Prone. Big up, Prone. But Tony Adams, I read his first book, and his first book, Addicted, was very good, and it's on the bookshelf. And I forgot to bring it in here, but I decided to read this one because this is the bit that happens after he got sober and his kind of reflections. And the one thing I love about this book is it's very candid and very honest. And I think that when it comes to addiction to anything, so he was addicted to alcohol, but if you're addicted to gambling, masturbation, drugs, whatever it can be or is, the kind of way to stop it and the way to kind of take it head on is to acknowledge it. And I think this is very good in the way he acknowledged that he had a problem. And it took him it took him quite a while to kind of realize, but once he did, it was kind of profound. And I like reading this stuff because, as I said, I'm a sociologist, I'm a psychologist. Well, that's what my degrees are. That's not actually what I do these days, but I like hearing about people's story and the switch that they made in their lives and what caused the switch. And I didn't hear about this bit when I first knew of Tony Adams, so I looked at Tony Adams as the captain, as the person on the football field. I mean, on the football pitch, as the leader, the guy with a statue. But this is kind of, to me, more personal because he said, while I was doing those great things, while I was being that guy, while people were seeing that, they weren't seeing the destruction, or they weren't acknowledging the destruction I was doing to myself. And I wasn't acknowledging the destruction I was doing to myself. And this is such a great book. Like it's so reflective, and I like it. So far, I want to finish it and then move on to the other ones. But for this guy to be one of the greatest players in Arsenal history, and captain England, for him to have been going through some of this and suffering and hurting the people around him, for him to reflect and introspect and kind of be a bigger person and help other people be better person, this means a lot to me. So I like this book. But big up Tony Adams as well. Back into your comments. El Capitan, yep. Big up Views, all of his channels. Make sure you subscribe to them. Views help me out a lot. And I like his show. He's a trash talker and I like it. So help him out. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, most of you guys who are in here are subscribed to him. And big up Promise Gaming. No worries, man. Arteta is addicted to bottling. But yeah. Dopamine. I'm pretty sure that's what you meant. Dopamine. And yeah, I'm addicted to dopamine. I feel like you tell yourself it's bad, but don't actually care enough to stop. Yeah, he talks about that. He talks about like he knew it was. I felt like he talks about knowing that it was a bad thing and knowing it wasn't good for him, but not having the wherewithal to stop because he needed something. Like he needed something to rely on. And alcohol was always there. But when alcohol, gambling, whatever the addiction is, it feels good in the moment, but in the long run, it always hurts more. And I see in my job now a lot of people who, you know, succumb, uh, succumb to it, and it, young, and it's like, could you have done something? And like I said, for me, I never want to blame anybody for being addicted because there's always an underlying cause. Like, I grew up in Miami. I grew up in a place where, we always had the local crackhead. Like, we always had the local homeless people. We always had the local, like, you knew who they were. And one thing that my dad used to do was help feed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, help feed them. And, he would tell me stories and stuff of how people became homeless, how people became addicted, saying, like, and some people had great lives. Some people, had everything they could have asked for. And what ended up happening was that, they became addicted to this substance, this thing, because something didn't go right in their life, something didn't hit, and you get addicted to it, and you just can't stop. So it's tough, man. It's one of those things where I never want to judge anybody who has an addiction. I never want to judge anyone who's going through anything in that vein, because you never know what started them on that path, and you never know what they're going through. I just hope that anyone who thinks they do have an addiction, that they talk to somebody and that they get help. And if you want to change, it's a tough road, it's a long road, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. But yeah, for me, I feel like it'd be worse off without loud. I'll be worse off without loud. Some people, I feel like the Mary J is a little bit different, because it has health benefits. But yeah, excuse me, with any addiction, that's what you get. That's what you get. It can be good or bad. It can be a bad thing. So yeah, big up Fraley though. I completely agree though. Flocka, rehabilitation is key, and sticking with it. Sticking with it is the most important thing. Big up, Prom. Good luck. Arsenal is getting more and more likely. Listen, Prom, you. I think this is one of the first times you popped in. This is not an Arsenal show. We don't talk about Arsenal unless it's historic, or you know what I'm saying, or it's merch. The Arsenal stuff is usually done for another show. As I said, this is like our home away from home when it comes to Arsenal. So I'll see your comment and I'll read them, but I won't discuss as much because this is not an Arsenal show. Sometimes you can have everything, but it's not enough. Yeah, like Kendra said, it's not enough. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's, sometimes it's not, man. Sometimes this is the thing. This is the thing that I 100% love my wife for. Is my wife is a person I've known most of my life, and she's a person who she's the one person who would tell me stop, slow down, because sometimes I'll have things, and sometimes I'll just, I'll be like, oh, it's not enough, like I'm not where I want to be. And she'll be like, but look at where you are, look at where we came from. And sometimes you have to appreciate that, man. Sometimes I have to appreciate that I grew up in a poor town in South Florida. I grew up in a poor part of Miami, and now, I'm in one of the better parts of the UK. I'm not rich. I'm not, I'm not rich. I'm not, oozing money, but I'm also not broken homeless. So you have to look at the good and the bad. Probably what happened to Leverkusen camp. Not sure, but reading more and more. Addiction is sometimes a byproduct of so many different factors. Never judge people's journey. Go to Arsenal. Lies is definitely addictive. I don't care what anybody says. Prom says, okay, my friend. I can talk about addictions, man. I'm a recovered alcoholic. Big up, Prom. And it's like I said, man, it takes a big person to realize, like, I'll never talk about anybody's journey, because everyone does things for their own reason. Um, there's a reason why people do things and why people fall into certain kind of situations. And I'll, I'm not super religious, but let he who has no sin cast the first stone. So I have my own issues. How can I judge someone else's? But yeah, big up, man, for sticking with it. And like I said, that book's great when it comes to speaking about it. Big up, wifey, always. My uncle recently died because of that addiction, and my condolences. My condolences to you, Fraley. It's tough. As I said, I see it in my job. People pass of alcohol, people pass of drugs, and it's young. They do it young, and it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough for your family, and it's tough for the people that you leave behind. So, if you can tackle it and stick with it, I think it works out better in the long run. Yes, that's all I like: drugs, alcohol, weed on YouTube, and people are bigging up. Yeah, that I won't do that. I as you see, I drink my water. I don't drink beer on stream. I ain't smoking no bud. My thing, man. My thing has always been whatever other people do has nothing to do with me, right? Unless it's disrespect toward me. I let people stay in their lane if that's what they want to do on their channels. If that's what they want to do, on whatever. That's cool. I don't police anyone on their stuff, but on mine, I try not to curse on here. Now I've been on other shows and I've dropped some bombs, because I'm Puerto Rican. Like that's what it is, and it's you guys don't understand how hard it is to be an Arsenal fan and to come onto YouTube and just have so many words in 2 different languages that I could use to describe these people. But I have to be kind of calm because I want this to be a community. I want this to be where people can come and feel safe. People can come and feel like they can give their expression, express themselves without people jumping down the throat. That's why I don't like, fighting in my chat. Why? Am I fighting with you guys? Am I arguing? No, bro. And I diffuse all that stuff. People try to come in here and talk trash. Thank you for stopping by. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the time, energy, or inclination to go back and forth with people, especially because I don't know you. You don't know me. You know what I show you, and I try to be my genuine self on here. But yeah, I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna promote drugs. I don't like promoting gambling. Like I see some people and they're like, oh, I don't promote gambling. But then you see, oh, Sky, set up for Sky Hot Picks, and it's like that's a form of gambling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say you don't like. I don't like gambling on shirts. I don't like none of that, bro, because it's all addictions. But do I drink? Yeah, of course. I'm trying not to because I'm trying to get sexy for next summer. You know what I'm saying? And alcohol is not good for the beer belly. But I don't knock anybody who does. If people smoke bud, then like I said, I'm from South Florida, bro. Like that's what you do. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm not gonna knock anybody for doing it. If people like to do drugs and stuff, I would say I don't think you should. But whatever they do doesn't affect my house. On this channel, in my space, I don't want no arguing. I don't, you can debate, but you're not gonna call anybody out their name, and you definitely ain't gonna disrespect me because I have a 5'2" pit bull that roves the chat, even though she don't be talking, and she will flame you. She is from South Florida, and she's also Haitian. Do with that information what you will. All right, back into the comments. Almost lost my wife and kids because of this illness, and I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad there's an almost there, and that it wasn't a definite. I'm also a follower of Jesus, saved my life. Went to rehab 2 years ago in 10 days. I've been sober for 2 years now. Big up, Prone. That's a big thing. That's a big thing to admit. When it comes to religion, I don't want to talk about it much, but I grew up as the son of a clergyman, son of a pastor's kid, which is why I'm probably such a deviant now. But yeah, I grew up in the Baptist church, and my mother was a Muslim, so I have quite a knowledge of a couple religions. But I believe my own thing, which I won't get into here. I think everyone can believe in what they believe. I consider myself spiritual, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, if whatever you need to stop you from doing things that are detrimental to yourself and family, man, I feel like it's worth it. I'm lucky enough to say that I've never been addicted to anything besides collecting kits and books. And if it ever got to the point where my wife felt that was unhealthy or I wasn't doing it, I know she'd knock me upside my head. So that's all I can say. But big up, Prone, for coming by and sharing your story, man. That's what the Waffle House is for. It's a community show, and we talk about any and everything within reason. So Pito, like myself, I'm sponsoring other guys in AA to get sober, and that's big as well. Paying it forward, man. Paying it forward. If you, and it's the thing that I always find funny, bro, because like even me, if I get somewhere in life and I can help somebody, then that's good enough for me, man. I don't need recognition. I don't need like I said, I don't need recognition. I don't need accolades. I don't need any of that. If I can help somebody, that's cool. And that's why I kind of like the Waffle House, because we can talk about things, and you never know, man. You guys might find out something you don't know, or you might get hope in a way that you might not see. And that's the important thing for me. Whether this video gets 2 likes or 2 views wouldn't matter to me. If 2 people in the chat said, I learned something, or I had an alternative kind of thought, or somebody made me think about something, or this made my day better. 30 minutes made my day better. That's good enough for me, man. That works for me, and that's why I do the stream. So yeah. Freda said huge front. Yeah, man, it's massive, bro. Massive. And I commend you. I commend you for sticking with it and realizing that there's something better than the thing that is causing your life destruction. So I hear that, man. Said myself, it's not worth the energy. Yeah, man. I ain't got time to go back and forth, people, man. That ain't me. I'm from Florida. I could cut you out if I wanted to, but I ain't got time. Did you say the other day you came to Iceland? I can't remember the last time I was on your show. We were talking. I have been to Iceland. Yes, I have. It's expensive. They bought me. What's the name of that place? It started with an A. There's a food joint that started with an A. It's got an A symbol. I think it is red. If I can remember off the top of my brain. Boy, you talk about expensive for a burger. But I went to Blue Lagoon, Sky Lagoon. That's the one I went to. And they had the cold plunge with the pin needles and stuff. Man, that joint was crazy. But Iceland was one of the most beautiful countries I've been to. It's got like the volcanic joint. Yeah. And I went to the Phallus Museum because someone said I should, and I didn't know that. Well, I mean, let's just say I've seen enough dicks in my life to be grateful for life. That's the only time I have needed to go. I didn't even need to go there. That's the only time I've gone to that museum. That's the only time I will go to that museum. I've been there, checked it off, done it. Yeah. So yeah. She said, I think you meant a shot. My upbringing was violent and alcohol, and I went to foster care 5 years where I was beaten. Damn, that's deep. When I was 16, I started on the booze to ease my mental pain, if you like. Then got hooked on it. And Fraley said, I can't shake it still. Started when I was 13. Yeah, it hits hard. I found God, and that got me started. I just can't follow religions. This is the thing I'll say, Fraley. Your reason, and I say this because I've had friends that have lost their lives to their own demons, whatever they were. You have to find something that gives you purpose or meaning. And it doesn't always have to be God. It could be football. It could be going to the park and walking around. It could be just the simplest thing could be a reason to keep going and to stop bad habits. You just have to find that thing for you and stick with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But I've seen a lot of people change because there's something that clicked. And I've seen a lot of people, especially when it comes to booze and stuff, and it could be different. You know, it depends on what type of person you are as well. But a lot of people that I know who've changed, they changed after they had children for some reason. Like, I had a friend, he was into womanizing, he was on, he had his first girl, the guy changed. I've never seen a different person because he said when he held the baby in his arms, he noticed that he didn't want to be the thing that his dad was or the thing that he saw on TV. So, yeah. That's, you know, you just have to find something. Say, that's cool. I can't do religion myself. I think we all addicted to something: food, gambling, cigarettes, drink, sex, supporting the losing team. Yeah. Listen, my addiction, I just said I like ice cream and I shouldn't probably have that. You know what? I stress eat. I stress eat. That's what I do. I'm a stress eater. But what I've started to do is I've started to stress eat healthy snacks. I like celery and peanut butter. I don't know why. It's a crazy kind of combination. But when I eat, like when I crunch on it and I have the crunchy peanut butter, I feel like it just hits a part of my brain where everything's like, all right. But that's what I've had to do. So yeah, you're right, Jack. Everybody has addiction. I was addicted to sugar. I stopped eating candy. I stopped drinking fizzy drinks. And it's been tough, man. It's been tough because, you know, if I'm at work and people just getting on my last nerve, it's so easy to grab a biscuit. It's so easy to, all right, I'll just get, you know, a small bag of Haribo. Like, it's so easy to say, all right, man, I'm just going to get me a Coke. And that feels good for the moment. But then I'm like, bro, I'm gaining weight. You know, my blood sugar is high. You know, I'm getting headaches because of the cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of small thing in the moment is not worth the long-term repercussions of it. So, yeah. So I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, my Savior. I'm not really part of religion. I completely understand religion. It's not for me. Big up, Binks. Big up, Binks. Thank you for stopping by. I was on the booze and drugs to self-medicate myself because of trauma in childhood. Denmark is also a mad experience. So on this, I get it. I get it. You know, as I said, I grew up in the rough part of South Florida. I grew up in the not so nice part of Miami, and I've seen poverty. I've grown up not having things. I've grown up, you know, I wouldn't say I was bullied as a kid, but I kind of was. I was picked on a lot because I didn't have money. You know, I wore the same clothes, and stuff. But yeah, for me, my escape from that was always sport, and that's why I do this. You know, my escape from the traumas of my childhood and my upbringing was always sport. I used to read the papers. You know, I had a neighbor who used to grab the local, you know, the Miami Times, the Palm Beach Post, whatever it was. And she used to leave the paper out for me. I used to read the sports page from back to front. Like, so I knew about baseball. I knew about basketball scores. I knew about everything because, you know, my TV didn't always work. So yeah, man, sport for me has always been a thing. And that's why I love Arsenal, like, because to me, sport is always an escape. When I have a bad day at work, unfortunately, you know, we know what Arsenal is, but, you know, when I have a bad day at work, I like watching games. You know, I like watching football, whether it's on TV, you know, whether it's the local football, I like doing that as well. So I get it, man. I get finding something to get your mind off of. Denmark is mad expensive. I went to Copenhagen. That's where I watched us lose in the Europa League to Sporting Lisbon. But yes, it was expensive, but it was a great time. Being said, I'm not a fan of religion, but spirituality is different. And yeah, that's how I am, right? I don't, as I said, I come from a culture, you know, South Florida, you've got Haitians and they've got their own culture and their spirituality. You've got Puerto Ricans, they've got their own culture and kind of spirituality. my dad was a Christian, my mom was a Muslim. So for me, I get the pillars of structure and how things are structured. And I understand that. I understand believing in something, but I wouldn't say I'm not prescribed to being a Baptist or Muslim or whatnot. I understand the necessity and the necessity and need for religion, but I like to practice it in my own way. I don't need anyone to tell me how I should practice it, especially. So that's how I feel. That's all I'm gonna say. Had to work on that as well. We were talking about being to Iceland. I love that place. Fun. Iceland is a great time. I gotta go again. If it's abuse, it's one of the worst to shake off. Yep. You went to Blue Lagoon. I went to Sky Lagoon. Whichever one's on the end. I know Blue Lagoon's, I think, on the inside, like it's near the middle. But I went to the one that's on the inside. I was overlooking the thing, but yeah. I lived 15 kilometers from the lagoon. Listen, it rained when I was in Iceland. And I was like, bro, even the rain was nice. I was like, this is nice. It's cold, but it's nice. Like the rain felt great. DG said, big up Gooner Rican chat. I know people don't take religion serious, but as a Muslim, I can tell you Islam improves your life and you get to experience miracles of spirituality for real. Yep, that's your experience. As I said, when it comes to me, I'm spiritual because I've seen things happen in my life that me being here, there are instances in my life where I could have been not here. Like I could have been, there's places where I've been and someone shot up literally, a few minutes later. There's places that I've been where, I could have been somewhere and someone's lost their life. If you had told me at age 10, growing up in the hood, that I'd be sat in England working a British job, driving on the wrong side of the road, doing YouTube, I'd have laughed your head off, bro. I'd have been like, you goofy, leave me alone. But look at me now. So I know there is some kind of power out there, but yeah, I don't. Whatever people choose to worship, decide, or do, that's them. That's why I always say I don't judge anybody because I've sinned. I have my own way of doing things. But yeah, I commend anyone and how they feel. So yeah. And the volcano that erupted last year, see, that'll scare me, bro. You know what I'm saying? What was it? Dante's Peak, I think, was a movie I saw one time, and it was about the thing. Was it Pierce Brosnan that was in there? Dante's Peak. Anybody know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that was a movie, and he ended up dying, bro. Not ended up dying. One of the ladies died, and I think he ended up getting away. But yeah, scared me off of volcanoes for life, bro. Definitely not Arsenal. We're all sentient beings. We all have a soul. So the question arises, what's our real purpose in life? For me, waffle. That's it. My purpose in life is the waffle. It's what I'm good at. It's what I've always done. If I was to choose any religion, it would definitely be Islam. We talk about Christian faith, not religion. I believe in God. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all feel the same. They all have the same basis if you actually look at it. They all stem from the same kind of bit. But I don't want to get too deep into religion. Bless you, had a fight, and bless you. Hope you find the truth in Islam. I mean, I have many Muslim friends that relates with me more. Big up Gunner for life. Big up E Ross stopping by. Yeah, it's a quick fix. Mickey ready to risk it for a bit. Bro, listen. So I work with older ladies and they like making me tea and biscuit. They bring the biscuits in there. But you know how hard it is, because I work at a desk job now. And you know how hard it is to sit there at 12 o'clock. I'm sitting there. I've just listened to Shane. I'm listening to views. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? I've had to talk to people. And then I'm like, bro, I need something to just, ease my mind. And here goes, they got the whole variety of biscuits. And I'm like, look at me. Now I got to fight wanting the biscuit, right? And it's very hard, but I get it. That's how addiction is. So I pray Allah guide you in Islam. Big up. Booze and drugs are an escape. I hope you're feeling better these days. Yep, I agree. Maybe one day. Sober 2 years. Stick with it. Stick with it, Prone. I'm proud of you. If nobody else tells you I'm proud of you for making the change. It takes a big man to realize that he has a problem. It takes an even bigger man to fix it, and it takes a legend to stick with whatever bit that they have to do to keep away from the bad things. So yeah, big up. Gunner for Life, big up. Says sport is a great escape. My family was Celtic pagan. Interesting. Very confusing. I know that God saved my life. That I'm sure of. Yeah, and like I said, I've been there. I've been there places where I should have been, and people, lost their lives. And places that I shouldn't have been, where I could have lost my life, and I didn't. So, I know there's definitely some higher power out there. But yeah. Fred, we all have spiritual, which means the innate nature to do good, recognize this in God. We're sentient beings. We all have spiritual. All right, that's between you guys. But big up. Spirituality definitely different to religion. Both are fantastic used in the correct way. Yeah, it's all how you use it. I mean, you can fanaticize anything. And that's the thing. That's what you see a lot of negativity is because people fanaticize things and they give their own twisted interpretations. Big up Shane. Big up Shane. Big up Shane. Shane's in the house. Big up Shane. My bad. I don't know if I said big up. I'll be waffling. That's what happens sometimes. But thank you, Shane, for stopping by. The big guy. You know what I'm saying? When Shane and you stop by, it means a lot. As I told you guys, those guys allowed me on their channel when I had 150 subscribers, and they didn't have to. And that's why I always, respect those guys because they let me waffle on their channel when I was a minnow. I'm still a minnow, to be fair, but yeah, they didn't have to, and I got all the time for them because regardless of what people think, if you've been good to me, I can only judge you based on what you've been to me. If you're being a dirtbag to me, and I see you being a dirtbag around me, then I can judge you. But if you've been good to me, regardless, you've been good to me. So I believe I do ponder sometimes. Gunner for Life, bigging up each other. Spirituality is beautiful. Most spiritual people have come through some stuff. And as I told you, man, I've been through a lot in life. One day I will sit down and actually tell my whole story. But my wife has helped me through a lot. But yeah, it's a lot of introspection, and there's sport. As I tell you, sport has helped me through so much. Even as bad and as annoying Arsenal can be, it's the escapism of sport that helps me. So I'm mad that we didn't win. However, I'm happy I laughed. So yeah. Gunner for Life, Shane, great show, brother. That's why everybody jumped up. So Shane must have finished the bruised banana, and I was watching it. But as I said, I don't like to kind of record, but I was doing a late show because I know that my American guys are usually probably at work, so I like to get them in the chat. And also I'm actually going to the match, so I'm doing a match preview tomorrow night. I'll do the match preview. So all you people who hopped in here looking for Arsenal content, that'll be tomorrow. This is all just waffle. Innate nature to be curious and search for God. That's true. Yep. His partner died in the beginning of Dante's speech. Yeah, see, Gunner for Life knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. And then he was testing the water and it was like brown. Bro, the thing scared me. The movie, I was like, I live in Florida. There ain't no mountains and no volcanoes. But when I was a kid, I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this can happen to me. No, there's no volcanoes. I didn't know. But yeah, Dante's pretty good movie. I gotta watch it again because it's actually a pretty good movie. It's ingrained into us. Bank says there are many paths that did a retreat in Buddhist monastery in Nepal many years ago. Changed everything. Learn stuff I never imagined. But you can learn so much for people if you just open your eyes and close your mouth. That's what it said. Open your eyes and ears and close your mouth, and you can learn a lot of stuff about life. Also, if you're willing to accept people's differences, if you're willing to, kind of hear what people have to say without forming your preconceived notions or actually putting their preconceived notions, you can learn so much about people. And I think in my degrees of psychology and sociology, you learn so much about how people work and how people form kind of understanding of the world around them. And for me, like, I like learning about different cultures. When I was a kid, bro, even before I got my degrees, like when I was a kid, we had the Muslim girl in school, we had, the Jewish kids in school, and I always wanted to know like what the differences were, like, and not just religion, just culture, um, the family from Somalia, the lady from Lebanon, just random places that I'd never heard of, never been, and you speak to them and how they do things. And I think me growing up in a culture that's not, Puerto Rican culture is different than American culture. This is how we do things, you know what I'm saying? So growing up with those kind of differences, you kind of learn about people, and you never know, man. There might be something in a different culture that you can take to improve your life. So I think that you get to a point where if you're open, and like I said, you don't go in with the preconceived notions, and you listen to people, you can learn a lot about yourself, and you can learn a lot about others. And I think if more people did that, the world would be more peaceful, instead of jumping at each other's throats. Gunner Prasad said, "Big up, Prone. I say strong, but yep." I'm checking in the AA Arteta Anonymous. Arteta's room. I'm like, yeah, bro. I think we all gonna be there. Big up, Fraley. We appreciate your time, brother. Gooner Rican, I love your travel talks and experience last show. Thank you, DG. I appreciate it. Y'all just be waffling, bro. That's what the Waffle House is, though. We talk about any and everything, except for politics. I can't stand politics, and I try to stay away from religion, but that's where I went tonight, and that's fine. But yeah, all you legends, Shane views, appreciate the legends. I'm very open-minded. You gotta be. I feel like you can be up to a point, but you can't sacrifice your own views and values to be open-minded. Like, you still have to have some of yourself. But yeah, you can be open to people. I also select the people around me. I think that's the most, Jack said, best way to be. That's the same thing, but I talked about this in the last show. I have family I don't talk to. I don't feel bad for not talking to them. Because I don't feel like they're adding to my life. I don't feel like they check on me because they care. I feel like they check on me to keep tabs for if something good happens, then they can hold their hands out. And I don't like that, right? I choose my family and my friends very carefully. My circle is very small, but I've got friends who I didn't know until 5-6 years ago who would ride and die for me. I've got family who've known me my entire life who wouldn't hand me a penny if I needed it. You know what I'm saying? So my circle is small, and I keep that, I keep that how it is. But yeah, I digress. DJ said, I love the Jamaican culture, Jamaican music, also Spanish culture as well. Like, growing up Puerto Rican, bro, like our culture is very loving and it's very loving infused, if you will. So it's it's all about love, and I mean, probably to a fault, because these dudes like to have babies and stuff, but we all about caring for the next person. Like, I talked about putting people in, like, putting the elders in homes. We wouldn't do that unless it was direly necessary. Like, if we had someone who we couldn't care for at home, then we put them into a nursing home. But it's not a thing in my culture to put your elders in a nursing home just because they're old. Like, my grandma lives with my aunt. My dad lived with my grandma before she passed. Like, it's in my culture. It's like the Caribbean culture to care for your elders, because they're the ones who passed on the wisdom to you. So yeah, that's how. I'm Welsh. In Welsh we say Welsh things. So yeah, I don't know what that means. And I do not want to destroy Welsh. So yeah, big up. I treat people with kindness. I agree with you. Thank you. But I'm also a forgiving person. Nah, bro. See, this is the thing, Prone. I'm still growing. I'm only 33. I'm still growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same person in me says forgive and forget. You know what I'm saying? Not forgive. and forget, but kind of forgive and forget. You know what I'm saying? Forgive people. The Puerto Rican in me says blood feud, life grudge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is. Like, if I don't, bro, like I said, Kevin Gates said, if I don't mess with you, then you know I'll mess with you. But if I mess, like, if you my guy, bro, I'll go to war with you. Right? I'll go to war with you. So for me, if I ride with you, that's it. But once you do me wrong, once you like slate me, slander me, bro, I'll never let you back. I'll never let you back in, bro. Never. And that might be a bad thing, but I feel like if you cut across me, if you done me dirty, it ain't a mistake. It's something that you had to precipitate. It's something that you had to think about. So, yeah, if you step on my toes, bro, nah. I might forgive, but I'll never let you back in. I'll be like, oh, bro, it's okay. You over there. It's all right. It's cool. I'm not going, you know, be what you say? I'm not going to be ruthless and angry forever. But nah, bro, I'm not going to let you back in my circle. You only get one chance with me. That's just me. You know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm still a work in progress. But as of right now, once you do me dirty and you look me in my face and you lie to me about it, and you do me dirty when you know that what you're doing, nah, broski, nah. As someone with no family, if their family member do care about them, call them, answer them, stay in contact. Family is priceless. I hear what you're saying. And my family consists of my aunt, my grandma, my uncle, and my little brother. And then my wife's family. Other ones, bro, I'm not with the whole, you know, loving the family. If my family do me wrong, they just like the next person, bro. You do me wrong, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I refuse in the season of my life that I'm in now, the season that I'm in, the hard work that I've done to get to where I am. And like I said, I'm not rich. I'm comfortable, right? I don't need nobody leeching off of me. I don't need nobody talking trash behind my back and saying I should accept that because they family. I don't want that. I don't want nobody to take my energy, right? And I'm not talking about leeching off me financially. I'm talking about leeching my energy. If every time I talk to you, you got something negative to say about somebody else, you got something negative to say about life, I don't want that energy around me, bro, because then I start thinking that. Then it rolls off to me. So I just distance myself from them people, bro. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want negativity in my life. I got enough negativity in my own brain about how things are going. I don't need my outside people bringing me that. I need people to uplift me. I need people I can uplift. You know what I'm saying? If I'm helping you and you want to stay where you at, bro, that's not helping me. Now we both in the mud. So no, whether it's family, friends, or whatever, if we can't elevate together, if your negativity is weighing me down, bro, I cannot keep you around. And I won't apologize for it. That's all I got. I won't apologize for it. That's just me. But big up. Bank says, I'm the same. I definitely don't talk to some family. Choose carefully. I do every day. I'm so grateful just to be alive. You know, my treasures, my family, kids, wife. I never want for anything more than I need. Yeah, bro, I don't need to be a millionaire. My wife is healthy. I'm healthy. My one parent is all right. And my little brother's okay. I'm cool with life. Nah, Gunner for Life said Uncle Rican. Bro, I feel like it, bro. My knees will be cracking and everything, bro. But I'm trying to be better in my old age. I'm just saying. Okay, I forget because I believe in second chance. I was given one of the teachings of Jesus. I hear you, Prone, but I haven't hit that yet. I still gotta grow. I still got room for growth. I'm only 33, bro. I still got room for growth. But as of right now, nah. Once you stab me in the back, bro, I want to allow you another chance. Finish the job. So yeah. Gray hairs incoming. There might be something in there, bro. I'm married, so it's hard to explain. It's something that must be experienced. I hear you. I hear you, bro. While I live, we have many Puerto Ricans. I love learning about other cultures. Yeah, man. We're a funny bunch. Sandwiches. Forgiveness is a powerful thing. I hear you, bro. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I bet you love grandma, bro. My abuelita, bro. My abuela is a saint. She's mean as a pit bull, but she's a saint to me, bro. Because my abuela helped me through things that people will never understand, and they'll be hard to explain. So I love my grandma. I always got time for her. You never know what you might be in a position of needing forgiveness yourself. So I practice forgiveness. I hear you. I'll work on it, I promise. But right now, I'm once you stab me in the back, bro, it's it. Karate chop. Big up Quadra. So as I've broken a few hearts in my lifetime, I had to go and make amends. I hear that. And that's something that I've always been cool with, man. I'm cool with asking for forgiveness and admitting I've done wrong. But I'll never let somebody play in my face, man. I just haven't hit it. I haven't hit it, bro. And I've always been met with kindness, so I pay it forward and forget people who honestly mean it, Yeah, but a lot of people don't mean it. Big up Prom. Bless you, DG. I won't lie, I've done some mad dive, but it's all I've done some mad dive. Done some mad dirt. But it's all deserved. Yeah, man. Listen, if I big up Suge, thank you for staying up late or staying up early, whatever time it is. Listen, I've tried to be the best person I can be, and I've hurt some people. And I've apologized for that. But some people don't want to hear that, bro. And that's okay. I can only do what I can. But as for me, heart been broke so many times I don't know what to believe. Not playing. Let me stop. That's Rod Wave. But big up Suge. Gunner Fly said, tell grandma every day you love her, brother. Trust me. Listen, my other grandma just died around Christmas time. So yeah, I know. But yeah, I love my abuelita, man. I talked about her on the last show as well. She's amazing. So yeah. Suge, I'll tell you one of my hardest things I've done is forgive myself. That's a tough one, Rican. But I did it in the end with Jesus. Now, see, this is different, right, Prom? Because I've done that as well, right? That when it comes to my journey, that's something I've had to learn, right? That's something I've had to learn. To forgive myself for the things that I've done, and I also can't change how people view me. I can only be sincere and be myself. But like I said, I haven't gotten to the point where I allow someone to play in my face and they tell me sorry, and I can accept that, but I'll never let you back in. I won't hold grudges. When I say I don't forgive, Prone, I don't mean that I'll hold grudges and be rude to you and be ugly. But in my heart, I'll never let you in my circle again. Like, it doesn't. Ex-girlfriends, bro, they can never come back to me. I'm married now, but if my wife broke up with me today, she would never come back. I would never let her back in. Once it's over for me. You only get one chance with me. That's just me. I can only speak for me. I haven't hit that level of zen where I can give someone a second chance. As far as that, I think once you play in my face one time, it's intentional. So it's over. It's over for me. Especially if I've put my heart on the line to give you. If I've given you my time, if I've given you my soul, if I've given you my energy, and you've played in my face, bro, I can forgive you in words and say, you know what, I forgive you, but I'll never let you back in my circle. I'll say, you know what, it's all good. I know that you might not, but I'll never let you back in my circle. You can never come back in my space because I don't want your energy. Because if you do that to me, you'll do that to someone else. And in the back of my mind, once you a snake, you always a snake, bro. Snakes don't change their scales, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't hold those grudges either. Like, it's not like I had ex-girlfriend cheat on me. I don't hold that against them. Because I realize that everyone has something that's going on in their life. Everyone has something that's going on in their space. But if my ex-girlfriend from high school to this day, if I was single and she said, I'd like to try it again, no, thank you. We tried it. It didn't work. It doesn't matter that it was 20 years ago. It didn't work. Because they were always, I tell my wife all the time, right? If we don't work out, if me and her split up, like I said, I've known my wife for 20 years plus. I've known her for 20 years, but we've been married for a decade. If we get to the point where we can't work something out, if we get to the point where divorce happens, bro, there's no coming back from that, bro. Because that means we've reached a point where her and I couldn't talk about something. Her and I couldn't work things out. Her and I couldn't see eye to eye about something. So once that's fractured for me, you can try to put all the pieces back together like Lego. It's going to be flimsy. It's going to, you know what I'm saying? It's not Lego where you put the pieces back and it stands strong. Like it's glass. You try to put glass back there. You can put as much glue as you want. But the first time it hits the edge of the table, it all falls down again. So for me, I can forgive you and we can move on, but I'll never let you back in. Because if we've split and it's irreparable, that's what it is, bro. So yeah, my bad. I went on a tangent there, but that's how I feel about relationships as well as kind of friendships and everything. If we're done and we've ended it, you can't come back, bro. We've just grown apart. It's fine. But big up, bro. What's the difference between Miami and London? Food, culture, weather, vibes. I mean, there's a laundry list of things, bro. Miami is very Caribbean. London is very British. Even though London has a lot of Caribbean in it, it ain't like Miami. Miami is the gateway to the Caribbean. It has a culture that you can only experience. I can't really describe it to you. But yeah, apples and oranges. That's kind of like the difference. Condolences. Yeah, for Gam, man. My Gam. But thank you to you. Suge says it's 8:45 Friday morning. Jeez, almost time to go to work. Big up Fraley. Big up Suge. 100. Gunnerfly says, I agree, brother. Sometimes it's possible to forgive. I'll never forget either. Sue says, I've come in mid-conversation, but I've been stabbed by both family and friends. These so-called friends are not allowed back in. Unfortunately, I can't do it to my family no matter what. I ain't the same, bro. I ain't the same. And this is the thing, right? Like I said, when I say I won't let you in, that doesn't mean I can't be cordial. That doesn't mean that I can't go to family members and be cordial with you. But when I talk about letting you in, I'm talking about telling you about my life. I'm talking about letting you experience my life, letting you share in my triumphs and stuff. No, that can't happen, bro. But I can see you at a family. We can be cool. We can kick it at family gatherings. We can have a moment when we do funerals and stuff and weddings. But nah, bro, you ain't finna be in my business like that, bro. Whether you family or friends or whatever. No, thank you. Big up. Family don't mean ish. Honestly, it's all about who has time for you. It's all about who gives you the same energy you give them. That's how I feel. That's why it's hard, brother. It takes effort. Sure, it works for me, and I found a way. I'm sure one day you'll find yours too, my friend. You're really nice to talk to, by the way, and thanks for being so open and honest. That's the only way I can be, bro. And that comes from my that comes from my upbringing, man. My abuelita, my uncle, my late uncle. He taught me how to be a good person. He didn't have, my Puerto Rican family. They came here without speaking English, and they got degrees, and they made businesses, and they did stuff. So when I saw that and how they treated people and how people treated them, you guys don't understand that Miami is as great as it is. It's one of the most racist places I've been as well. So some people treat you different because of how you look. Some people treat you different because you can't speak good English. Some people treat you different because you didn't come from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? So growing up for me, I came on the bottom end of things. Like I came out, from the bottom, bro. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I had the worst whatever, but I grew up in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up, in basically the trailer park. So, but I did have everything that I needed because my parents made sure. There were people with worse lives than me. But for me, I can only be me, man. I can't be this fake person on YouTube because it would eat me up inside if I came on here and I was like, "Hello, guys. Welcome to Gooner Rican, and everything's dandy and everything's great and everything is awesome." That's not me, bro. That's not me. And if it's not for some people, cool. If it is, welcome to the community. But that's what the Waffle House is. We just having a chat. I like talking to you guys. Although I do have to go to sleep soon because it's almost midnight. And once again, I feel the beady eyes staring through the wall. So I know it's almost time for me, guys. But promise that I can see myself being your friend. Welcome to the community, Pro. Thank you. I appreciate that, honestly. But that's what the Waffle House is, man. We don't talk about Arsenal. We talk about life and random stuff. We started about books. This was supposed to be a book episode, and this what it came to. We started talking about religion and life. So that's usually what happens. But this is why I like this show, because it's just a chat, man. It's a couple hours where you can take your mind off whatever you got going on in life. And if it helps some people, then that's good enough for me. But yeah. Quadra said, "I'm off the bed. Take care. Everyone enjoy the rest of the show, people." To you as well, Gooner Rican. Thank you, Quadra, for stopping by. You're always one of the first ones in. So good night. And I'm going off soon as well. Big up, Quadra. Big up. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know which part, but was it the racism? Yeah, it's fine. It's not fine, but you become used to it at some point. Sorry, I won't abuse them, but I'm not telling any of my family anything. But I still rock up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna abuse none of my family. And when it comes to my help, it depends. Like I lent some cousins some money. I still ain't getting no money back. You can't get no money from me. I'm sorry. Right? You just can't. Like I have, bro. When I tell you I have such a low threshold, because this is the thing where I've had such a low threshold, because the family that I have in Britain, I have a British family. I talked about this. Those guys have given me so much when I didn't ask for anything. They helped me financially. Like one guy helped me get a job, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just knew me 2 years from then, and we had just been hanging out. He was like, "If you want to stay here, I can get you a job." I had a job offer just by being myself. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten more from people who don't look anything like me than the people who share my blood. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, I don't allow anybody to play in my face. Because if someone wants to do for you, if someone wants to be in your life, if someone wants to be a genuine person, it's effortless. I don't have to beg you to do that. If I do, then you're not really riding for me. So I ain't gonna waste my time. Big up Freddie said, "Life ain't strawberries and cream." He said, "I also need to sleep soon." I'm going, I promise I'm going to sleep. Wifey calling, she always. I've been an Arsenal fan 33 years. I've never wanted Arsenal to lose and win nothing. So I swear, get Arteta out. I never wanted. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. As I said, Gunner for life. If you ain't busy around maybe a little bit earlier than this tomorrow, I will be back with a match preview. We can have all the waffle about Arsenal we want. In the circle of trust, like Meet the Fockers. Exactly. Listen, this is supposed to be a book show, but I'll show you the last 4 books and then I'm gonna go sleep. Right. I got this one. Rocky Rock Castle. I didn't know much about him. I just know they do tributes, but I heard that he was a fantastic player. And then I saw the bit about Rocky and Righty. So I wanted to get this book because I wanted to read about him. Because I heard he's actually one of kind of the cult heroes and the legend. So I wanted to read about him. So he's one of the players I got. And then the other ones, as I've kind of showed you, so I've got Dennis Bergkamp, Stillness and Speed. I wanted to read about the Iceman, Dennis Bergkamp. That goal he scored, freaking amazing. But I also heard he had a fear of flying, so I want to read about that as well. So that one's on my list as well, Dennis Bergkamp. And then you can't have Arsenal players without having the GOAT. And yeah, Thierry Henry, lonely at the top. And I read about him. So what I'm saying, I've got Tony Adams, Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and Rocky Rocastle. And they are in hardback. I like hardback books. I don't really like the soft covers. But all of my actual Arsenal specific books are soft cover for some reason. And then of course you can't have those great players without having Le Professor, the GOAT. My Life in Red and White. So I remember when he left, and I was one of the people that thought he should have left. I didn't like the abusing of him, but I think it was time for him to go. So it was time for him to go, and us moving to kind of a new future. The problem that I have is that we didn't pick the right guy to do it. So big up, do you get some Z's? Cool, brother. Prom says it's been great, and this is the Waffle House, Prom. So if you liked it, I said you're always welcome back if you want to. Gunfly views the next 5 games talking about Arsenal. Rocky the Legend, trust the process, protest. I would. There's a cool documentary about Rocky. I have seen it. I haven't watched it yet. But I've also got Ian Wright's book coming, so I want to kind of read both of them and then watch the documentary. I think it'll mean a little bit more to me if I read their accounts and then I kind of watch it through there. I like to read before I watch, if that makes sense. There's a book out there called Birthright by Timothy Alberino. You guys will love that one. I'll start that one. Just like because I like a good book. Bergkamp, GOAT. Yep, one of the. And I wish I had seen these players playing. I think I'm envious of the guys that have seen these players play because they were amazing. Guys, I yet to believe, guys. Lemons and light bulbs, guys, and Gunner for Life, ballpoint and pen, guys. Yep. So I'm in on the show, but I did get an idea in the last show. So I did want to be the first to introduce you to the show that I'm going to do in the future. It's probably going to be after the season when I start doing it. But yes, we're going to start the Gooner Rican book club. And the first book will be this one, Fever Pitch. We're going to read Fever Pitch together. I'll see how it's structured because Fever Pitch isn't really chapters. It's kind of different games, and time periods. So I'll see how I'm going to break it up. But yes, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna read Fever Pitch and I'm gonna comment on it and we're gonna do commentary. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do the Gooner Rican book club, Fever Pitch, and then over the summer when there's not much going on, we'll read a couple. So I'll do Fever Pitch, and everything else. So, let me see what he said. Thanks for the recommendation. You're welcome. I need to get these books then. Yeah, there's a lot of good books. If you guys are in the UK, then World of Books is an app that you can get and you can buy these books for the cheap. Like I said, take care, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Fraser said, big up, guys. Jack said, flames, and Pito said, hey, yeah, you guys, Jack, Pito, you guys, help come up with this. So big up to you guys. But yeah, we're gonna do the Gooner Rican book club. And Prom says, God bless you and your families. I'll be there for the book club. Yep, we're just gonna have a chat. I think regardless of what happens this season, regardless of what happens this season, we're gonna need to take our mind off of what if we're excited because we won something. I think we're just gonna need to let our brain process. And if we haven't won anything, I think it'll be good to have a little nostalgic look into the past, and kind of see what we used to be, and hopefully talk about how we can get back there. Jack says thrift books are good if you're in the U.S. Gunner for Life says take care, Prone. And then Jack says God bless Prone, and Prone says thanks. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking by. I think there's 10 of you in the chat. It's been a good chat about books. And of course, the match day programs at the beginning. If you missed it, you can always go back on playback. I've gone through some of them, some of the games I went to, and some of the books I'm going to read. So just want to share that with you guys. This has been another Waffle House. And I'm going to end how I always end. I hope that everything that you want to happen in your life happens for you. I hope that everything that's detrimental to you, everything that's holding you back disappears. I hope you get rid of it. And most of all, I hope that you return to the Waffle House. I hope that you return to Gooner Rican TV. And I hope you return to the community. If I've helped you guys just get away for 10, 15 minutes of watching, that's good enough for me. And I appreciate that more than any like, any share, any sub. Just the opportunity to chill with you guys, get your mind off of whatever happened in life. And being honest, get your mind off the Arsenal. Because you guys know what we have going on. So, yeah, with that, I'll call it a night. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow with Arsenal stuff. So if you guys are around, yeah, I'll be doing the preview. And as I said, I'm going to that match. So I'll be doing kind of a amalgamated preview and Rican reaction, but I will be around. So hit the lights on the way out. As Prom said, good night. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. If you're Suge, have a good morning. Have a good afternoon, wherever you are. Take it easy. And since there's a lot of you in the chat, come on, you Gunners.